Two Lonely Souls Scene 8. On Monday, Amy and Molly arrived at the center. Molly was wearing the thick diaper again. She smiled at the nurse on duty. "Do moaning, Penny." "Molly. Do you speak?" Penny almost fainted. "Yeah, we had a nice vacation with Amy." "You angry I speak?" "Not at all, sweetheart." Penny smiled at Molly and stroked her hair. "Amy, are you a witch?" "Not me, Penny. Molly is a miraculous child. You will see." Amy took Molly at hand and led her to her room. As soon as Amy helped her take off her winter jacket and boots, Molly spread her arms and hurried up to her roommates. Hugo, Angie, Ewan, she hugged them and both girls hugged her back. Despite their retardation, they still were emotional and smiled at Molly happily. "Let's play." Molly sat down and she forgot about Amy for that moment. Amy used it quickly, locked the door and hurried up to the center head. "Good morning, Mr. Carter." "Good morning, Mrs. Maynard." "What did you do to Molly during the vacation? Did you cure her?" "Oh, rumors are spreading quickly." "I didn't have to cure her in my opinion. I'd guess she is not retarded at all." "You might be right, anyway our psychologist should have an appointment with her." "What if she is not retarded?" "No idea, to be honest. If she had a family, she could return to them." Amy realized that nobody had visited Molly since her birth. "According to our documents, she is the daughter of a homeless druggie and her biological mother died at the labor." Mr. Carter explained to Amy, "I've just checked on the documents when I learned about her sudden advance." "Oh, she'd deserve a loving family though." "I think so, but where to find a family?" "Wait, are you speaking about adoption?" "I wish I could, but you know about my situation. However, I'd like to ask you for a favor. Could I take her home after work? I spent 2 weeks with her." "Why not?" Mr. Carter nodded. "However, you can't take her home after a night shift." "I see, anyway my parents can take care of her on weekends." "I live with them." "Yeah, but you still are responsible for her." "Thank you, Mr. Carter. You really are generous." Amy's heart jumped and she left the office in a good mood. She called her mother immediately and told her the good news. Anne was enthusiastic about it and promised to make a delicious dinner again. Molly kept talking to her roommates and didn't mind their lack of response. She also didn't hide her skills anymore. However, she cuddled to Amy whenever Amy appeared to check on them. At the end of her shift, Amy entered the room. "Molly, I can take you home." Molly jumped and hurried up to Amy. "Angie, Ewan, I come again." Amy helped her into the winter jacket and led her outside. They drove home. Anne and Patrick were waiting for them already. Anne took Molly to the kitchen and the little girl assisted her again. At the dinner, Molly suddenly turned to Amy. "Amy, are you my mom? You take care of me." "No, I'm not your mom, sweetheart." "Your mom." Amy stopped. Molly looked at Amy and didn't understand but Anne got the message. "Your mom went far away, sweetheart, and she never comes back." "You are my mom then, Amy." Molly looked at Amy again. A tear appeared in Amy's eye. She desperately wished that, "I'm not, yet. I promise I will be your mom." She didn't know if she could keep the promise, but she hoped for it and hoped for a miracle. On Wednesday, Molly had an appointment with the psychologist. The psychologist talked with her and let her do several tests. After the appointment, she called Amy. "Amy, I was surprised by Molly's abilities." "To be honest, I'm not surprised. I'd guess she is healthy." "Yeah, according to the test results she is. She passed all tests of the preschooler level. A bit of education would move her to 3rd or 4th grade easily." "Well, is she able to go to school then?" "Not directly, she might need some logopedic lessons first." "Do you know a logopedist?" "We don't have a specialist at the center, but I could try it. I had a semester at school." "Moreover, you could purchase a book and train Molly at home. she doesn't have any serious speech defect. What about her diapers? Amy, Molly definitely is able to get potty trained, but she doesn't want to. How were you able to find it out? It was simple, a couple of cunning questions did the work. Amy nodded and started thinking of the future. Molly was quite able to get schooled, but she couldn't get her education at the center. The best option would be homeschooling. What do you think of her education? Amy continued. I'd recommend homeschooling her, however I know about your situation. You hardly could give up your job. Well, let's imagine that I could stay at home with Molly. Would I be the right person to homeschool her? Why not? You can teach her more than the 3rd or 4th grade. Thank you. I'll do my best to find a way to educate her. Hopefully, she can stay at the center. Of course, she doesn't have anybody else to live with. I'll recommend that she stays here as long as possible, and I arrange the logopedic sessions. Amy said goodbye and led Molly home. They had a pleasant time ahead. Amy had to go to work on Friday. They stopped at the bookstore and Molly stared at the shelves full of books. What is this, Amy? These are books, we can read them and learn. I wanna wed Amy. You have to learn it first, sweetheart, but you will learn, I promise. Amy purchased a handbook of logopedy and turned to Molly. Princess, I will read this book and teach you to speak properly. I not speak properly. You have to learn how to say R and L and a bit more. I will learn, Amy. They arrived at home and Molly was eager to tell Anne about the appointment and the book. Anne, I was with a psych. Molly didn't remember the difficult word. Do you mean psychologist? Yeah, she talked with me and I did funny things. What funny things, princess? Tests, Mom, Amy interjected, and she was quite good at them. Amy got a book. We were at a shop and I see many books, dear. Which book? I learn speak. A handbook of logopedy, Amy explained. It's great, princess. Amy can teach you and I can teach you too. Let's go to the kitchen now, I need my little helper. The next days passed uneventfully. Molly was happy and so were Amy and her parents. Molly spent a lot of time at Warner's house, but she liked her roommates at the center as well. She also had several appointments at the psychologist and talked with the nurses at the center. She was diligent and learned speaking in about 3 weeks. She was able to speak with only a few mistakes. The staff liked the talkative girl. On the other hand, Molly became oblivious to the diaper condition and she was like a happy toddler. It was no change from the viewpoint of the center staff, but Amy noticed it. Anyway, she didn't worry and she was happy about Molly's advance in speaking, dressing, eating and more skills. Molly became independent except for diapers and she even was able to watch her roommates for short periods. Suddenly Amy got worried. What if Molly couldn't stay at the center anymore?